Rick and Morty's the entire story from start to end. Join us on a quest through every twist and turn in their wild universe-hopping escapades on Adult Swim. Keep watching for an unbelievable twist that'll redefine everything you thought you knew about Rick and Morty. But first, let's set the stage. An infinite multiverse buzzing with possibilities and where interdimensional travel is as everyday as morning coffee. And in this vast cosmos, meet our extraordinary cast. Leading the pack is Rick Sanchez, a scientific genius whose intellect surpasses all. His creations are innovative, and his love for adventure takes him through space and time.
That's why I always say, shum shum, slippity-dop. Say that all the time.
Despite his brilliance, Rick's a master of keeping secrets, some of which might just turn the universe on its head. Oh boy, you'll see. Morty Smith, Rick's grandson, may lack courage, but has a heart of gold.
You're not my brother?
I'm better than your brother. I'm a version of your brother you can trust. Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
He reluctantly joins Rick's escapades, facing bizarre situations, yet often displaying unexpected bravery and asking critical questions that could change everything. What questions, you ask? Stay tuned. Summer Smith, Morty's stylish and bold older sister, eagerly steps into Rick's adventurous world, showing her independence and strength.
Do you ever get scared Grandpa Rick might make me his new sidekick?
What? What kind of monster are you?
A competent one?
Watch out for Summer, she's full of surprises that defy expectations. Beth and Jerry Smith, the parents, add to the family dynamic. Beth, a horse doctor, shares Rick's intelligence. Jerry tries his best as a father, even when caught in Rick's chaotic plans.
So, what do you think? You want to keep this marriage going a while longer?
At least until Morty has graduated high school.
Despite their differences, their love will face tests that could shake the very foundation of their family. We'll meet more colorful characters as we go along. But for now, let's dive right into the show with our very first episode. In pilot, one night Rick wakes Morty up for a surprise, a flying car ride to end humanity and start anew. But don't worry, it's just Rick's weird test for Morty to be more assertive.
That was all a test to make you more assertive.
It was?
Sure, why not? I don't know.
The next day at breakfast, Morty's family notices that he's super tired. Summer spills the beans.
Maybe you were out all night again with Grandpa Rick.
What?
This causes a bit of a family argument. Uh-oh, trouble brewing? Later at school, Morty's daydreams land him in a funny and awkward situation during a math test. But school doesn't last long for Morty. Rick shows up with a freeze ray, turns a bully into an ice statue, and whisks Morty off to another dimension.
Man, Rick, what is this place?
It's Dimension 35C.
They're there for mega seeds from mega trees. There's a catch though. Rick needs Morty to hide the seeds in a, let's say, uncomfortable way. Back home, Morty's parents are debating about Rick's influence on Morty. They even talk about sending Rick to a nursing home. Meanwhile, in Dimension 35C, things get crazy. Morty falls off a cliff, ouch, but Rick fixes him up with some future tech serum. Problem? Rick's portal gun runs out of juice. How will they get back? Their only way back involves sneaking through interdimensional customs and some more awkward seed smuggling by Morty. Back on Earth, Morty's school principal tells his parents about all the school he's missing because of Rick.
Well, what are you guys doing with my stuff?
We're moving you to a nursing home.
But in a twist, Morty's smarts, thanks to the mega seeds, convince his parents to let Rick stay. As the episode wraps up, Rick reveals the truth to Morty. His smarts are just temporary, and they're gonna have lots more crazy adventures.
Rick and Morty forever and forever 100 years. Rick and Morty some things.
Rick and Morty forever and ever. Rick says as the garage door closes on their first wild adventure together. What a start! In Lawnmower Dog, Jerry thinks their dog Snuffles is a bit dim. So Rick whips up a gadget to boost Snuffles' smarts. Imagine that!
Snuffles, shake. Roll over.
Then Rick and Morty dive into the world of dreams. Their mission? Sneak into Morty's math teacher's dreams to get Morty an A in class. Sounds simple, right? Not quite. They hop from dream to dream, meeting characters like the strong and inspiring Mrs. Pancakes and a dreamy centaur. But then they bump into Scary Terry, a spooky guy who loves to chase them through dreams.
Looks like some sort of legally safe knockoff of an 80s horror character with miniature swords for fingers instead of knives.
Yikes! Meanwhile, back at home, Smarty Pants Snuffles builds a robot dog army, planning to take over the world.
Huh, didn't see that coming.
In a twist, Rick and Morty help Scary Terry with his own scary problems.
This is because you don't give Morty Smith good grades, bitch!
I know one thing for sure. I'm giving Morty an A in math.
And Snuffles has a big heart change, realizing the dogs should be kind, not conquerors.
Miss you too. Very much.
Snuffles says a tearful goodbye to Morty and heads off to a planet where dogs live with love and compassion. Aww. For a fun after-credits treat, we see Rick and Scary Terry chilling in Scary class, learning to relax with their new teacher, Scary Glenn. In Anatomy Park, Jerry's trying for a classic family Christmas.
We are connecting this Christmas, like old school Jews on a Saturday.
But surprise, Rick brings a homeless man named Ruben, and oh boy, there's a whole amusement park inside it. Talk about a wild holiday surprise. While Jerry grapples with family drama, hello Jacob, Jerry's mom's new partner.
Happy human holiday, Dad.
Rick sends Morty on a microscopic adventure inside Ruben. Meet Dr. Xenon Bloom and the Anatomy Park crew. But hold on, Ruben's not doing so well, and the team faces a battle against crazy bacteria and viruses. The stakes just got higher, folks. Morty's got a crush on Annie, a cool employee at the park. But things get dicey. They dodge diseases, ride the bone train, and face a terrifying E. coli attack. Meanwhile, back at home, Summer's boyfriend Ethan is feeling ignored, leading to a heart-to-heart with Peacemaker Jacob. The finale, Rick grows Ruben's body massively in space, causing a naked Sky Santa panic. Then, boom! Anatomy Park ends with a shower of, well, you know. Morty's bummed as Annie, now a mini genius of the park, gets shrunk down again. And don't miss the after credits, Rick's ranting about his favorite ride, Pirates of the Pancreas. Classic Rick. In M. Night Shyamalan's, Rick suspects something's off when a robotic Beth leaves for work. Soon Morty's in math class, where things get weirder.
How do you make concentrated dark matter?
Oh, that's a good question.
Suddenly, it's action time. Rick grabs Morty for a wild escape, explaining that they're stuck in a simulation by the sneaky Zagarians. And guess what? They don't like nudity, so it's time to get naked to stay safe.
Sir, they're still naked!
Well, check every 5 quintons and tell me when they're not.
Meanwhile, Jerry's in the simulation too, clueless and living his best life. He pitches his "hungry for apples" slogan at work, feeling like a superstar.
Hey, I just sold my first pitch!
Back with Rick and Morty, they crash a rap concert, freeze the simulation, and almost escape with alien tech.
They're over the edge.
Yes, they are. Just as planned.
Almost, because they're still trapped. After a hilarious chase with pants down distractions, they try to mix dark matter to flee. The plot twist, only Rick and Jerry are in the simulation. Fooled ya.
We never had the recipe for concentrated dark matter, but we do now! We do now, sucker!
Rick tricks the Zagarians, who end up blowing up their own ship. Boom. Clever Rick. After their escape, Jerry's real-life pitch flops, and Rick, a bit drunk, makes sure Morty's not another simulation. Was it all just a wild dream?
I'm sorry, Morty. You're a good kid. Oh my god! Oh, what the hell?
In Meeseeks and Destroy, Morty's had enough of wild adventures.
Come on, Morty! Don't be like that!
But Rick challenges him to lead one. If it's a hit, Morty gets to lead every 10th adventure. Meanwhile, the Smith family gets the Meeseeks box from Rick. It summons blue helpers.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
Mr. Meeseeks, 4 simple tasks. Beth wants to be a complete woman, Summer wants popularity, and Jerry, he just wants to improve his golf game. Morty's fantasy adventure, a trip to a world of giants. But things go south when a giant accidentally dies.
Hello, 911. My husband has been attacked by tiny people. He's dying.
And Rick and Morty are blamed. Back home, the Meeseeks are struggling, especially with Jerry's golf skills. They start to go a bit crazy, causing chaos everywhere. In the giant world, Morty has a scary encounter with Mr. Jellybean in the bathroom, leaving him shaken. Rick unknowingly wins big in a card game. Morty, distressed, insists they go home.
Let's just go home, okay? I'm calling it. The adventure's over.
Chaos erupts at a restaurant with the Meeseeks. Jerry finally proves his golf skills, and poof, the Meeseeks disappear. Rick and Morty share their winnings with the villagers, but quickly leave when they meet the king, Mr. Jellybean. Rick, understanding what happened, secretly takes revenge. In a twist, a villager discovers Mr. Jellybean's dark secret, but chooses to hide it, showing a complicated side of hero worship.
Our people will get more from the idea he represented, the Jellybean he actually was.
In Rick Potion number 9, Morty's got a huge crush on Jessica, but can't get a word in because of Brad, the school bully.
Wow, tough love.
After a chat with Jerry, Morty asks Rick for a potion to make Jessica like him.
I don't want girls. I want Jessica.
Rick whips up something using Vole DNA. Vole is love for life, but will Jessica? At a school dance, Morty uses the potion on Jessica. It works, but oh no, she's got the flu. The potion goes airborne, making everyone at the dance fall madly in love with Morty. It gets out of control fast. Rick tries to fix it with a Mantis DNA antidote, but it turns everyone into love-crazed Mantis monsters. Meanwhile, Jerry suspects Beth is cheating.
His marriage is hanging from a thread.
My marriage is fine.
I think a blind man can see that Beth is looking for the door.
And turns into a one-man army against the Mantis mob.
Nobody's killing me until after I catch my wife with another man.
Rick's next fix, a wild mix of DNA that turns everyone into Cronenbergs, weird mutated creatures. The world's a complete mess. Final twist, Rick and Morty jump to a new reality where they replace their dead selves. Morty's left shaken, burying his own body. In a strange turn, the Cronenberg world's Smith family, now hardened survivors, actually seem happier without Rick and Morty. In Ricksty Minutes, Rick, fed up with boring Earth TV, installs an interdimensional cable box, showing shows from infinite realities. Imagine that! A crime show where everyone's corn. Yes, corn.
We're not so different. We're both corn of action.
Yeah, but one of us is dead corn!
Jerry, Beth, and Summer get hooked on seeing their alternate selves with Rick's interdimensional goggles. Jerry's a famous star hanging out with Johnny Depp, and Beth's a human surgeon. But Summer's shocked to find out that she was an unplanned baby.
All this time you've been thinking, what if that loser Jerry hadn't talked me out of the abortion? Well, now you know.
Feeling lost, Summer decides to run away. Meanwhile, Jerry and Beth start rethinking their lives after seeing their glamorous alternate realities. Drama alert, sad and confused, they consider spending time apart.
Well, your mother and I are going to be spending some time apart, Morty. And your sister found out she was an unwanted pregnancy.
Whoa! Morty tries to comfort Summer, sharing a secret. They're not the original Smith family. Hint, check the backyard graves. Morty's message,
nobody exists on purpose. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
Jerry and Beth, still watching alternate realities, see Jerry regretting his fame and longing for Beth.
Beth Sanchez, I have been in love with you since high school. I wish you hadn't gotten that abortion, and I've never stopped thinking about what might have been.
Realizing their love, they reunite in a heartfelt hug. After credits fun, the Smiths take a wacky trip to Hamster and Butt World. Yup, it's as crazy as it sounds. Family photo montage included. In Something Ricked This Way Comes,
what is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Rick builds a robot just to pass butter while eating breakfast. Meanwhile, Morty and Jerry team up for a science project. And Summer heads off to her new job at a spooky thrift store called Needful Things, run by the mysterious Mr. Needful. At the store, Mr. Needful gives away creepy items with hidden curses.
This aftershave made women want me, but it also made me impotent!
Rick, dropping Summer off, instantly suspects Mr. Needful is the devil.
So what are you, like the devil?
What? Sorry?
Even gets a tricky microscope for Mr. Needful, which would have lowered his IQ. Jerry's obsessed with proving Pluto is a planet, so much so that he and Morty get whisked away to Pluto itself. There, Jerry becomes a hero for his Pluto beliefs.
Pluto's a planet.
Back on Earth, Rick opens Curse Purge Plus, a shop that removes curses for cash, outsmarting Mr. Needful. Mr. Needful tries to beat Rick at his own game by starting a tech company, but Summer feels betrayed when he fires her. So what do? Summer and Rick get super buff and confront Mr. Needful.
Stupid bitch!
Stupid motherfucker! How you like that?
In Pluto, Morty learns the planet's shrinking is because of plutonium mining. Jerry finally admits that Pluto isn't a planet after all, becoming a truth teller for the Plutonians. After credits fun, muscular Rick and Summer are on a justice spree, beating up bullies. In close Rick encounters of the Rick kind, we dive into a mystery with a twist only Rick and Morty can whip up. Our Rick, known as Rick C-137, is in hot water when 27 Ricks from other dimensions are found murdered, and their Mortys are missing. The Transdimensional Council of Ricks thinks our Rick is the bad guy because he doesn't like playing by their rules.
Earth Rick C-137, the Council of Rick sentences you to the machine of unspeakable doom.
But Rick's not having any of that. He grabs Morty and they zoom off to find the real villain. Turns out, another Rick is behind this, using the kidnapped Mortys as a shield to hide his sneaky deeds. Meanwhile, back at the Smith house, Jerry finds a new friend in Rick J19 Zeta 7, also known as Doofus Rick.
The truth is, you bought them because you like them. They have value to you. That's what matters.
He's the nicest Rick around, which is a big change from the Rick that we all know. Guess who's got a new BFF? Back in the action, Morty starts to feel like he's just a tool for Rick's survival.
I'm just a tool! I'm just an object!
But he's more than that, and he proves it by leading a rebellion of alternate Mortys against the evil Rick.
He is the one true Morty! The one true Morty!
Here's where it gets even crazier. The evil Rick was just a puppet, controlled by his Morty.
This is the receiver. Yeah, but where's the transmitter?
That's right, a Morty was the mastermind, and he destroys his eye patch controller to keep his secrets safe. In a whimsical scene after the credits, Jerry misses his new pal, Doofus Rick. Our Rick finds this hilarious and plans to tell all the other Ricks about Jerry's unusual friendship. What an adventure! Genius storytelling in this one, multiple Ricks, one evil Morty mastermind, and just when you think you've seen it all. This episode truly showcases the show's wild creativity and Jerry's friendship with Doofus Rick, so unexpectedly sweet. In Ricksy business, Beth and Jerry head off on a Titanic-themed trip, leaving strict orders. No trashing the house.
Any damage to this house or these children when we get back, no more adventures with Morty.
But when the cat's away, the mice will play, right?
Well, we're past the point of no return. I'm gonna have a party.
Summer throws a party to boost her popularity. And Rick, he's got his own wild shindig with alien guests like Bird Person and Squanchy.
Mikasa as a Sukasa, dog!
Alright!
The house turns into Party Central. Meanwhile, Beth and Jerry's trip isn't so smooth. Jerry's all about reenacting the movie, but Beth's not into it. She pushes a maid named Lucy to join Jerry, and they hit it off over Titanic love. Back home, things get wacky. Morty tries to impress Jessica, but accidentally teleports the house to a strange planet. Uh-oh, Rick, totally unfazed, keeps the party going.
We'll be fine, let's party!
While Jerry gets into a bizarre situation with Lucy on the ship, Morty and his friends fetch crystals for Rick. It turns out Rick just wanted them for a party high.
Move to the left, step to the right, wiggle your elbows and look up into the light.
Morty's not happy about this, but a heart-to-heart with Bird Person makes him rethink his anger towards Rick.
Mom and Dad are like right around the corner.
This is your moment, Morty. Choose wisely.
Beth and Jerry come home to find nothing amiss. Thanks to Rick's time-freezing gadget, the house is spotless. Party? What party? In A Wrinkle in Time, the Smith family's time has been frozen for 6 months, and now it's time to hit play. But Rick warns Morty and Summer not to touch their parents, or their existence could unravel.
The world's time is gonna be fine, but our time's gonna need a little time to, stabilize.
Oops, a sibling spat causes time to split into 2 realities.
Whoa, what the hell? Oh god, I don't know. What did you guys just do?
While Beth and Jerry are out dealing with a deer that they accidentally hit, the house is floating in a void full of Schrodinger's cats. Talk about weird. Beth, trying to be a hero, performs surgery on the deer, while Jerry gets tangled in a legal battle over the deer's ownership.
I'm sure it's ruined the meat. I'm just gonna use the head for my rec room wall.
Jerry saves the day in an unexpected way, letting Beth finish her surgery and release the deer back into the wild. Back at the house, Rick, Morty, and Summer are dealing with time gone haywire. After some harsh truths from Rick and a crazy shootout across timelines, a 4th dimensional being steps in. He's not happy with their time tampering. Rick outsmarts the being using time splits to defeat him.
I'm defeated!
But not without some drama. Rick almost sacrifices himself to save Morty. In the end, they're all safe, and time is back to normal.
I'm gonna do the Cabbage Patch, Morty. Check me out. Do the Cabbage Patch dance.
I'm doing it too.
Do the Cabbage Patch.
Beth and Jerry return, unaware of the chaos. Morty and Rick share a moment, realizing taunting hurts. The episode culminates with Einstein getting a beatdown from the fourth-dimensional beings, thanks to Rick's antics. In Morty Night Run, Rick's teaching Morty to drive the space cruiser when he is surprised. Jerry's there too.
Whoa! Jesus, Jerry, what the hell are you doing here?
We agreed a boy's father should be present when he's learning to drive.
Since they can't drop Jerry home, they leave him at Jerry Bori, a daycare for Jerry's. Yup, a whole asteroid just for Jerry. Meanwhile, Rick and Morty meet Krombopulos Michael, an alien assassin who's bought a weapon from Rick.
Hi, Morty. I'm Krombopulos Michael. I'm an assassin. I buy guns from your grandpa.
Morty's not happy about this, so he tries to stop Krombopulos Michael, accidentally causing the assassin's demise. Oops, they discover Michael's target, a gaseous being named Fart, who just wants to go home. Morty insists on helping Fart, leading to a wild chase and lots of unexpected chaos. But plot twist, Fart plans to wipe out carbon-based life. Morty faces a tough choice and ends up using the antimatter gun on Fart. Back at Jerry Bori, Jerry's having a blast with the other Jerrys. When Rick and Morty pick him up, they're unsure if they've got the right Jerry.
Wait, what?
All right, come on, Jerry.
The episode finishes with an ad for Blips and Shits, where the day's crazy adventures began. What a ride! In autoerotic assimilation, our trio stumbles upon a distress signal in space, leading them to an alien starship. They meet Unity, a hive mind that assimilates entire populations, and surprise, Rick's ex.
Summer, Morty, this is Unity. We sort of used to date.
While Unity shows off its world of peace, but no individuality, Summer protests the loss of free will. Rick and Unity rekindle their relationship, partying like there's no tomorrow, and causing chaos. Back on Earth, Beth and Jerry discover an alien prisoner at Blim Blam in Rick's lab.
Alien prisoners under the house. Real nice.
God damn it, stop.
Their marriage issues come to a head, leading to Blim Blam's escape after a rant about their dysfunctional relationship. Meanwhile, Rick's influence weakens Unity. The inhabitants start fighting among themselves, breaking free from Unity's control. Morty and Summer manage to convince Unity that Rick's a bad influence. Unity leaves Rick a heartbreaking note and disappears.
Rick, forgive me for doing this in notes. I'm not strong enough to do it in persons.
Leaving Rick devastated. Back home, he assembles a death ray in a moment of despair, only to pass out before it fires. The episode ends with Jerry, oblivious to the chaos, happily tending to the garden while Rick is passed out in the garage. Post-credits, Rick and Morty clash with Beta 7, Unity's new acquaintance, leading to a hasty retreat. Total Recall kicks off at the Smith family breakfast table with Uncle Steve, who's actually a sneaky alien monster. Boom! Rick, the super smart grandpa, zaps him and warns everyone.
Would everybody just relax for a second? There's no such thing as an Uncle Steve.
Watch out for fake, fun characters popping into memories.
So we gotta keep an eye out for any zany, wacky characters that pop up.
Oops, too late. Here comes Mr. Poopy Butthole and a bunch of other wacky guests like Cousin Nicky and Sleepy Gary. Rick's on edge. He's sure these are memory parasites, tricking them with happy flashbacks, so no one's leaving the house. Then a twist. Jerry thinks he's in love with Sleepy Gary, who believes he's Beth's hubby, thanks to fake vacation memories. Utter chaos unfolds. The Smiths start doubting Rick, thinking he's a parasite too. They almost let everyone go, but Morty has a brainwave. The parasites only make happy memories, so the real deal must have some not-so-great ones too.
Crap, Morty, you're right.
Isn't that what you were trying to make me understand by yelling at me?
Bingo! Morty remembers Rick being, well, not always nice. Time for action. Rick and Morty arm up, ready to find who's real and who's not. They test everyone with memories, good and bad. Summer's real, she once kicked Morty by mistake, and Beth too. She accidentally gave Summer a black eye. They start zapping all the parasites, including Sleepy Gary, which really upsets Jerry.
No! Just send me to Gary. I want to be with Gary.
But wait, there's more drama. Beth suspects Mr. Poopy Butthole might be a parasite too, because they only have happy memories of him. In a panic, she shoots him, but uh-oh, he's real, and now he's hurt. In the end, Mr. Poopy Butthole is recovering, but he's not too happy with the Smiths. As the episode wraps up, we see the family coping with the aftermath of their wacky memory-zapping adventure. And Rick, he's just being his usual quirky self. Total Recall is just wild. The idea of memory parasites? Genius. And Morty figuring out the real from the fake? Super smart. But the Heartstopper? That moment with Mr. Poopy Butthole? Shocking yet touching. every single time. In Get Swifty, a giant alien head appears in the sky, causing chaos and demanding, "Show me what you got."
Show me what you got.
Rick knows what's up. It's a Cromulon looking for a hit song.
There was an earthquake and all the musicians, all the famous ones, they're gone.
With Earth's musicians gone, it's up to Rick, Morty, and the surviving Ice-T to create a catchy tune.
You gotta get Swifty. You gotta get Swifty in here.
They perform Get Swifty, impressing the Cromulon and earning Earth a spot in a cosmic music contest. But Morty panics and tries to save his family, ending up with Bird Person, who gives him a pep talk about trusting Rick. Meanwhile, Jerry, Beth, Summer, and Ethan join a cult worshipping the Cromulons. Chaos ensues. Back at the contest, General Nathan goes rogue and attacks the Cromulon, who disqualifies Earth. But wait, Ice-T, who's actually an alien, returns just in time to help Rick and Morty perform another hit song, saving Earth.
Raised up posterior. Head been over. Yeah.
After a wild adventure, Earth's Cromulon cult quickly fizzles out, realizing it was all just a big intergalactic show. Ice-T heads back to his planet and heroically leads his people against the Numbericons. In the Rick's Must Be Crazy, Rick, Morty, and Summer leave a movie theater. But uh-oh, Rick's spaceship won't start. Why? Dead battery.
Looks like something's wrong with the microverse battery. We're gonna have to go inside.
So Rick and Morty zoom off to the microverse inside the battery, leaving Summer with the spacecraft. Things take a wild turn when Summer's spaceship goes into overprotective mode, turning into a fierce defender against anyone approaching it.
Keep Summer safe.
Meanwhile, Rick shows Morty around the microverse where people unknowingly power his car battery. They meet President Chris and the genius Zeep Zanflor. But wait, there's a twist. Rick gets annoyed when he finds out Zeep created a miniverse just like his microverse.
Dumb name. Excuse me?
The plot thickens as Rick, Morty, and Zeep end up in a smaller universe, the Teenyverse. It's universes within universes, folks. They meet Kyle, who's also created a tiny universe.
Is my universe a miniverse?
Microverse!
Teenyverse.
But things get heavy for Kyle, though, and things take a sad turn.
My God, no!
Back in the Teenyverse, Rick and Zeep start a rivalry, and Morty gets fed up. He becomes the leader of some tree people.
You're leading the tree people? Huh, that's a step up.
Morty finally gets Rick and Zeep to work together to escape. They zoom out of the Teenyverse, leaving Morty to tell off the tree people in a hilarious rant. Meanwhile, Summer's spaceship drama escalates, it outsmarts the police, and even summons a peace treaty between humans and giant spiders.
From this day forward, human and spider kind will live side by side in peace.
Finally, Rick and Morty and a very rattled Summer go for ice cream. But even that's not normal. There are flies in it because of the spider-human peace treaty.
What the fuck did you do, Summer?
It was your ship. Your stupid ship did it.
My ship.
You won't believe this, but in a post-credit scene, Morty accidentally turns into a car in class. What a day! In Big Trouble in Little Sanchez, at breakfast, Morty and Summer mention a vampire at school. And guess what? Rick turns into Tiny Rick to help. He transfers his mind into a teen clone of himself.
What's the BFD? So here I am. I'm Tiny Rick.
It's super cool, but also kind of weird. Tiny Rick becomes a high school hero, even helping to defeat the vampire who was actually Coach Ferrazzo. Sneaky, right? But there is a twist. Tiny Rick starts feeling trapped in his young body, and only Summer notices his secret pleas for help in his songs.
Is anybody listening? Can anyone understand? Stop looking at me like that and actually help me. Help me!
Morty's too busy enjoying his new popularity, thanks to Tiny Rick. Summer takes action and gets Tiny Rick expelled.
We got a tip it was in your locker. They can't have students killing teachers. I gotta expel you for this one, TR.
After some intense moments and Elliott Smith's music, Rick finally gets back to his old self. He even destroys his other young clones. Way to go, Rick! Meanwhile, Beth and Jerry are off to off-planet couples therapy, because why not? They meet Glexo Slim Slum, who reveals their perceptions of each other as wild creatures. A scary monster, Beth, and a wormy Jerry. Things get crazy when these perceptions escape and cause havoc.
It's bad! You have the single worst marriage I've ever witnessed. It shouldn't exist, and I do not understand how or why you would ever stay together.
In a daring rescue, Jerry saves Beth, and they make peace with their relationship. The episode wraps up with the Vampire Master frustrated about Coach Ferrazzo's not-so-smart name. Remember, no more clever name bullshit for these vampires. In Interdimensional Cable 2, Tempting Fate, Jerry eats ice cream with mutant bacteria. Yikes. So it's off to St. Gloopy Noob's hospital for him. While waiting, Rick hooks up his interdimensional cable, giving us a peek at some wacky TV shows like Man vs. Car and Eye Holes. Now, here's the twist. Jerry can save a famous alien, Shrimply Pibbles, by donating his, special organs.
I see. Wait, what?
Jerry agrees, thinking he's doing something noble, but then he gets cold feet. Back in the waiting room, the family's watching all sorts of bizarre shows like How Did I Get Here and The Personal Space Show. Meanwhile, Jerry learns he can have fancy prosthetics and almost backs out of the surgery. But wait, there's more. Jerry finds out Pibbles doesn't really need his organs and tries to save his honor in a dramatic showdown in the operating room. It goes hilariously wrong, and Jerry ends up getting shot a lot. Don't worry though, alien hospitals are top notch, and he's fine.
All I wanted was for everyone to like me.
In the end, Jerry learns a tough lesson about trying to make people like you, and the family's not too happy with him. And in a funny twist, Jerry gets attacked by the Eye-Hole Man for trying to sneak some of Rick's weird cereal. Classic Jerry. And look who's purging now. Rick and Morty are flying through space when smash! An insect hits their windshield. Off to find wiper fluid on a nearby planet, they discover it's the festival night, where everyone fights each other.
Because you have one night a year where you all run around robbing and murdering each other without consequence.
That's right.
What?
Rick's excited to watch, but things turn messy.
Whoa, they are purging the fuck out of each other.
They meet Arthricia, a local girl, and Rick's all gung-ho about saving her. Surprisingly, Arthricia double-crosses them, steals Rick's gun, and takes their ship. Rick and Morty are left fighting for survival. Back home, Jerry and Summer are bickering, totally clueless about the chaos in space. In a crazy turn, Rick and Morty get high-tech battle suits from a space probe. Morty finds his inner rage and goes wild, taking down everyone in sight. They confront Arthricia again, who's now targeting the rich folks, forcing the peasants into the festival. After a wild, vengeful party at a rich mansion, Rick and Arthricia dance it off while Morty looks on, feeling awkward. As they leave the planet, the townsfolk are back squabbling, and Morty's left reflecting on his rage-filled night. Rick reassures him that it was all because of a candy bar with a rage-inducing chemical.
Turns out they have a chemical in them called Purginol that amplifies all your violent tendencies.
Phew! In a humorous plot twist, Betty discovers Jerry's been spending a fortune on a dollar friend service back on Earth. Poor Jerry, always in trouble. In the Wedding Squanchers, things get wild and emotional for the Smith family. It all starts with an invitation to Bird Person's wedding to Tammy on Planet Squanch. Rick, the grandpa who's seen it all, doesn't want to go, calling weddings funerals with cake. But when Jerry accidentally gets teleported to the planet,
where is it taking him?
I assume Planet Squanch.
The whole family heads to the wedding. At the wedding, we meet Squanchy, a fun-loving alien who's an old friend of Rick's. The family tries to mingle, with Jerry making awkward jokes.
Were you born with your feet in your mouth?
I was transported here against my will in a meatball.
And Beth learning about Rick's mysterious past. Morty even encourages Rick to enjoy himself for once. The wedding takes a crazy turn when Tammy, the bride, reveals she's a Galactic Federation agent. She's been undercover, and now the place is swarming with officers. Poor Bird Person gets shot, and Rick is in total shock. In a daring move, Squanchy helps the family escape by transforming into a huge warrior and battling the Federation goons.
Anyway, I say we go home, sleep it off, and have a family meeting in the morning.
Yeah.
With Earth now a target for the Federation, Rick suggests finding a new planet to live on. They check out a few, including one where everything is on a cob, which freaks Rick out, and another with a screaming sun. Eventually, they settle on a tiny Earth-like planet. Back on Earth, the Federation takes over, and Jerry suggests turning Rick in. But the rest of the family, especially Beth, can't imagine life without Rick.
We're gonna do whatever Rick wants.
Yes!
Why?
Because I don't want him to leave again, you dumb asshole!
Hearing this, Rick makes a tough decision. He turns himself in to save his family, pretending to go for ice cream, but really going to jail. In a maximum security prison, Rick reflects on his actions, admitting he's done everything.
What are you in for? Everything.
It's a somber moment for our usually carefree hero. And in a quirky post-credits scene, Mr. Poopy Butthole watches the episode, takes painkillers for his injury from Total Recall, and teases the viewers about what's next in Season 3.
Hoo-wee! You think Rick's gonna get out of jail? Hoo-wee! You think the family's gonna rescue him?
The Rick Shank redemption starts with Rick in a brain link simulation, tricking a Galactic Federation agent named Cornelius Daniel. Classic sneaky Rick. Meanwhile, back on Earth, now run by the Federation, Morty and Summer dig up Rick's buried portal gun. They end up in the Cronenberg world with the other family, but their portal gun gets smashed. Oh no.
Why? Why would you do that? What is the matter with you people? You're a bunch of back savages!
Suddenly, agents from the Council of Ricks show up and freeze everyone. They think Rick C-137, our Rick, is in big trouble and send a team to get rid of him. Back in the simulation, Rick fools the agent with a fake memory and a fake portal gun formula.
The code you just uploaded wasn't actually my portal gun formula, it was a virus giving me full control over the brainalyzer.
He then hops from body to body like a boss, ending up in the control room of the Galactic Federation prison. Rick's on a roll. He teleports the Citadel of Ricks into the prison, boom, causing a huge battle. Rick saves Morty and Summer and even crashes the Federation's economy.
Fake gun, shoot me and stand up. Brilliant!
Yeah, good thing I saw that note.
Wow. When they return to Earth, Beth is relieved, but Jerry is not happy. Uh-oh, he makes Beth choose between him and Rick. Big decision time. Spoiler, they decide to divorce. Rick then reveals his master plan to Morty. He wants to get rid of Jerry and take control of the family. And guess what? All Rick really wants is Szechuan Chicken McNugget sauce from McDonald's. Morty is totally freaked out.
And now you're gonna have to go and do whatever I say, Morty, forever. And I'll go out and I'll find some more of that Mulan Szechuan teriyaki dipping sauce, Morty.
In a plot twist, we see Bird Person brought back to life as Phoenix Person by Tammy. Wowzers! The Rick Shank redemption is a masterpiece of craziness. Rick's genius escape and his obsession on Szechuan sauce, pure Rick and Morty gold. It's the unpredictable humor and episodes like this that keep me hooked. What about you? And Rick Man Sing the Stone, Rick, Morty, and Summer end up in a world where everything's all about muscle cars, mutants, and mayhem. They're in this crazy place because Rick's after a powerful rock called Isotope 322.
Isotope 322. This stuff's so powerful, Morty.
But things get interesting when Summer gets all tough and joins a group called the Deathstalkers.
Grandpa, some of the Deathstalkers are going to what used to be Seattle to hunt what used to be people. I'm going.
While Morty gets a super strong arm with a mind of its own. Summer's out there taking charge and finding love with a guy named Hemorrhage, who wears a bucket on his head. Meanwhile, Morty's new arm, which he names Armathy, is on a mission for revenge. Morty's using Armathy to let out all his feelings about his parents' divorce, which is a big deal back home.
Tell her you want to stay married or get on with your life, but whatever you do, stop being a baby and act like a man!
Rick, always thinking ahead, builds robot versions of Morty and Summer to keep Beth from worrying. But the robots just end up making her sad and missing Jerry even more. Back in the wild world, Morty and Armathy finally get their revenge, but Morty learns a big lesson about letting go and moving on.
What I've learned is that whether it's our parents' marriage, a glowing green rock, or an awesome giant arm, sooner or later, we gotta let it go.
At the same time, Summer realized they all head back to their real world where Robot Morty suddenly wants to be alive and feel every post-credit scene. Jerry's trying to get his unemployment check, but a mean wolf chews it up just to mess
myself into a pickle, Morty!
Rick turns himself into a pickle, just because he can. Morty turns Rick back into a human, with her, leaving Pickle Rick all alone. Superhero. Meanwhile, at therapy with Dr. Wong, Beth, Summer, and more, still a pickle, arrives admitting he doesn't respect therapy.
Because I don't respect therapy.
Dr. Wong's response is insightful, comparing therapy to necessary boring tasks like brushing teeth. They plan to grab drinks, leaving the kids questioning their therapy future. And that's not all. In a surprise post-credit scene, Jaguar saves Rick and Morty from a deadly... In Vindicators 3, The Return of World Ender, Rick and Morty join the Vindicators. A thrill, but he goes along because Morty picks this adventure. They meet up with the Vindicators, Supernova, Vance Maximus, and others. But guess what? Rick gets super drunk and turns their mission into a deadly game, like in the movie Saw. In the sewers of World Ender's base, the team faces crazy traps set by drunk Rick. Vance tries to escape, but meets a gore.
No matter what we put on there, we die.
Morty solves puzzles using his knowledge of drunk Rick, but things get messier. Supernova, Million Ants, and Alan.
Well, and there's no logic to it.
What a twist! The episode draws to a close with a wild party and Logic, the music star, rapping about the Vindicator.
Are you ready? There's a choo-choo train, man. He's rolling down tragedy. Everybody knows Supernova fights gravity.
Supernova escapes, but Rick doesn't care. He's used to people trying to kill him. In a playful scene at the end of the credits, Gearhead tries to impress girls with a Vindicator vest, but ends up running away from an alien attack. In the whirly-durly conspiracy, Rick takes a reluctant Jerry on a trip to an intergalactic resort with an immortality field.
The resort's covered in an immortality field. You can't die here. That's the gimmick.
But why? Morty's worried Jerry might be too sad. Will Jerry enjoy this intergalactic trip? At the resort, they meet Rick's enemy, Risotto Groupon, who wants Jerry's help to kill Rick.
You're asking me to lure Rick to his death?
I'm only asking you to go on a ride with Rick, get off the ride without Rick, and go home to your family.
Jerry agrees, then changes his mind, but it's too late. They're stuck on the deadly whirly-durly roller coaster. What's next for them? During the ride, Rick and Jerry fight off assassins, crash into the jungle, and lose the immortality field. Ouch. Rick finds out about Jerry's plan, and they argue, but Rick saves Jerry from a giant alien snake. Meanwhile, back home, Summer's having a tough time with her breakup. She accidentally turns herself into a giant using Rick's gadget. Beth tries to help, but things get messier. In the end, Rick and Jerry return home, kind of friends again.
I guess we better get on the same page about our fake adventure.
Right.
And Morty teaches a lesson to Summer's ex-boyfriend. Don't mess with Morty. In Rest and Rick-laxation, Rick and Morty are super stressed.
We need a vacation.
So they head to an alien spa for some relaxation. They try a machine that removes their toxic traits, and whoops, they create toxic versions of themselves. Toxic Rick is a mean, selfish genius, and Toxic Morty is full of nerves and self-doubt. Meanwhile, the real Rick and Morty leave the spa feeling great. Morty becomes super confident at school, impressing everyone, even Jessica. But things get tricky when Rick realizes they accidentally created life. He feels responsible and wants to re-merge with his toxic self. Morty disagrees and enjoys his new life.
You know, the only problem here is a big fat brain that misses eating all them big fat problems.
Toxic Rick turns the whole world toxic, and there's chaos everywhere.
If I flip this switch, the entire world is gonna be just as toxic as us, baby.
Rick has to trick Toxic Rick to re-merge and fix the mess. Morty, loving his new life, tries to escape, but Rick catches him, turning him back to his usual self. In the end, Morty breaks up with his girlfriend and gets his old life back, and even Jessica is glad to see him. In a funny after-credits scene, Stacy, who replaced Toxic Rick and Morty in the Spa's machine, is finally freed. In the Rick Lance's mix-up, we're at the Citadel, where only Ricks and Mortys live. But what's happening there? While our Rick and Morty plan a trip to Atlantis, another pair pops up, asking for donations to rebuild the Citadel. Our duo is not having it, especially since our Rick wrecked the place.
What are you, stupid? We're done with the Citadel of Rick. Oh.
The Citadel's buzzing with activity, rebuilding, a hot election with a Morty candidate, and even a Morty Pride rally. There's this new cop Rick, paired with a grumpy cop Morty who's not too kind to other Mortys.
What happened?
Same old story. Morty's killing Mortys.
They're off to solve a robbery in Mortytown, a rough neighborhood for outcast Mortys. But what secrets will they uncover? At Morty School, 4 buddies, Lizard Morty, Glasses Morty, Left-Handed Morty, and Slick Morty plan a daring adventure to the Wishing Portal.
I say we make our last day count. I say we go to the Wishing Portal.
They hope their wishes will change their lives. Meanwhile, at a wafer factory, factory worker Rick loses it and takes Simple Rick hostage, leading to a SWAT team showdown. In the election drama, candidate Morty's speech wows everyone, even though the other Ricks made fun of him. But then his own campaign manager tries to shoot him. Talk about a twist. What's behind this betrayal? Back in Mortytown, Cop Rick and Cop Morty bust the robbers, but things get messy. Cop Morty shows his dark side, leading to a showdown in a club with Big Morty, a Morty crime boss. Our 4 school Mortys make their wishes at the portal.
None of those things are gonna happen, you know. Morty wishes never come true. Not on the Citadel. Then why did you bring us here?
But here's the sad part. Slick Morty sacrifices himself, hoping for a better life for all Mortys. The big shocker, candidate Morty becomes President Morty and turns out to be the evil eye patch Morty from a past adventure. He takes control, getting rid of anyone who disagrees. In a twist, all those connected to President Morty's rise end up floating in space. And back with our Rick and Morty, they're just chilling, clueless about the chaos at the Citadel. The Rick Lance's mix-up blew my mind. The depth of storytelling in the Citadel and President Morty's chilling rise to power is storytelling at its finest. This episode takes the cake for its complex narrative and dark twists. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. Just like Rick and Morty's wild adventure, we put a ton of effort into bringing you these epic episode recaps. If you're loving the interdimensional chaos, make sure to smash that like and subscribe. Now back to the action in the multiverse. Morty's Mind Blowers starts with Rick and Morty escaping from a crazy world full of stairs. Think of a wacky painting come to life. Morty grabs a creature called the Truth Tortoise, but oops, he looks at it and chaos ensues, leading to a narrow escape. Back home, Morty's head is spinning with memories that he can't shake. Rick's solution, a secret chamber under their garage filled with Morty's Mind Blowers, memories Morty wanted zapped away.
Morty's Mind Blowers! And we'll be doing this instead of interdimensional cable.
First up, a memory called Moonspiracy. Morty, with his trusty telescope, spots a man on the moon. Turns out it's Mr. Lunas, his school's new guidance counselor. But a big mix-up involving a smudge on the lens leads to a very unhappy ending for Mr. Lunas. Then Morty remembers other wacky and not so great moments, choosing between him and Summer, Squirrel World Domination, and get this, a proposal from Mr. Poopy Butthole. Plot twist, Rick also erased memories to save his own pride.
He's our friend!
He won't even feel it.
Oh no.
This revelation gets Morty really mad, leading to a scuffle and memory erasers flying everywhere. Suddenly, they don't remember each other.
What's going on?
Where am I?
Who are we?
Who?
Think I'm an adolescent boy?
Huh, and I'm an elderly man.
As they try to piece together their past, things get so overwhelming that they consider a drastic exit. But not so fast. Summer, cool as a cucumber, steps in with a plan B. Thanks to Rick's foresight, she fixes their memories and drags them to the living room. They wake up, thinking they just dozed off during TV time. The icing on the cake, Jerry finds his own Jerry's Mind Blowers box, revealing a forgotten alien encounter. In the ABCs of Beth, Beth learns her childhood imaginary world, Froopy Land, is real, a creation of Rick's. When they hear an old friend Tommy might be stuck there, Beth and Rick dive in to rescue him.
Tommy! Tommy! This is a nightmare. I can't believe you used to lock me up in this glorified chicken coop.
Froopy Land turns out to be pretty weird. They find Tommy, who's now the bizarre leader of a half-human, half-Froopy Land creature society. Tommy reveals Beth trapped him there out of jealousy. Yikes. Beth and Rick argue about her troubled childhood, with Rick calling her a scary kid.
You were a scary fucking kid, man.
Oh my god.
I didn't make Froopy Land to get rid of you, Beth.
Things get intense when Beth goes on a rampage in Froopy Land to save Tommy. Back home, Beth faces a tough choice: leave her family to explore the universe or stay and be content. Her decision? It's a mystery. Meanwhile, Jerry's dating an alien hunter, Kiara. Things get messy, leading to Jerry, Morty, and Summer being hunted. Jerry and Kiara break up, but not without chaos.
I was excited to date someone cool because my ex noticed me.
I would expect nothing less from humanity. A selfish, manipulative, dishonest...
In a humorous extra scene following the end credits, Jerry gets bizarre messages on his answering machine, including one from Rick bragging about his antics. In the Rick, Shure, and Morty date, the president calls Rick and Morty to catch a monster under the White House. They do it, but get bored and head home to play Minecraft. The president is not happy and confronts them about their attitude.
Sir, what is our new Rick and Morty policy?
Our policy is we never needed them and never will again.
Meanwhile, Beth worries she's a clone and turns to Jerry for comfort. They rekindle their love, much to everyone's surprise. Rick and Morty then find a mini-civilization in the Amazon and beat the president and make peace with it. The president gets mad and declares war on our duo. This leads to an epic battle throughout the White House. Ultimately, Morty chooses his family over Rick.
Rick, my mom and dad are getting back together. What? Now she loves my dad and she wanted me and Summer to come home, and we're hiding from you so you don't kill her.
Who's ready to leave for a new dimension. Summer's new skill makes Rick stay.
Beth, you crazy bitch, you're my daughter. I brought this here to kill Jerry.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
And he makes peace with the president. Dinner time is awkward, with Beth standing up to Rick and the family laughing off her clone worries. Post-credits, Mr. Poopy Butthole has his own family and hints at Season 4. In the Edge of Morty, Rick, Rick, Pete.
Let's go, Morty. I need death crystals from Fort Bogelon Prime.
Rick and Morty head to Fort Bogelon Prime for death crystals that show you how you might die. Morty grabs one and gets obsessed with a future where he's with Jessica.
Jessica!
Morty.
After a crash, Rick dies and keeps respawning in different realities, all ruled by fascists. He fights his way through each one, desperate to return to his own reality. but how many Ricks will it take to get back? Meanwhile, Morty's on a crazy quest to make his future with Jessica happen. He uses the crystal to avoid death, and even fights off the police and army. He ends up becoming a cyborg monster tree. Wasp Rick helps our Rick return and they find Cyborg Morty. After a dramatic battle, things go back to normal.
How am I gonna die?
Shh, quiet, idiot, quiet. It's gonna be all right.
Morty learns about Jessica's real future plans and realizes he's chasing a fantasy. Back home, Morty takes the blame for the chaos and the family's just glad he's safe. The episode ends with Morty eagerly joining Rick for more adventures. But what adventures await them next? The Old Man and the Seed starts with a syrup shortage at breakfast.
We're out of syrup. Huh.
And Rick's intern Galooty has "Do Not Develop My App" tattooed on his forehead. Jerry, ignoring Rick's warning, teams up with Galooty to develop an app.
50-50, final offer.
Meanwhile, Rick sneaks off to a secret toilet paradise on a lush alien planet. But he finds signs someone else used it and is furious. He tracks down the mystery pooper using high-tech gadgets. Back on Earth, Galooty and Jerry's app, Love Finders, creates chaos, matching people with random soulmates. Morty and Jerry discover the app servers are on Galooty's mothership. Rick confronts an alien named Tony who uses his toilet. After an emotional exchange, Rick lets Tony live. Jerry and Morty's attempt to shut down the app leads to a standoff with the Monagatrons, who want Earth's water. They barely escape, and the app's craze dies down when ads ruin it. Rick visits Tony's office, learning he's died living life to the fullest. In a twist, Jerry licks a chemical from Rick's fridge, experiencing a dream life as a water cooler man. In One Crew Over the Cuckoo's Morty, Rick and Morty on a tomb raiding quest, only to discover the treasure's already been snatched.
Hey, where's the... Wait, what?
By Miles Knightley, a notorious heist artist. Rick's not impressed, describing Miles' heist as predictable, all about assembling crews and surprise reveals. But will Rick outsmart him? Off they go to HeistCon, where Rick assembles a quirky crew to gain entry, including an alien pianist, a multi-handed thief, and a vampire monster truck driver. But it's a ruse. Once inside, Rick ditches them to confront Miles.
It's showtime, Morty. And I don't mean a bad impression of HBO. I mean, time for a show.
A heist-off challenge emerges. Steal the crystal skull of Horowitz first to win. But Miles pulls a fast one, snatching Rick's crew to outwit him.
Looks like you're available for a job.
Turns out Rick's ahead. He secretly nabbed the skull using Heistatron, a robot he built to out-heist Miles.
Hey guys, what do you got? Pretty. Morty, put this in your backpack.
After some classic Rick chaos, Miles meets a messy end.
Jesus. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. All right.
But then the Heistatron goes rogue, refusing to shut down. Rick scrambles together another random crew, including Mr. Poopy Butthole and an alternate Elon Musk. They face Heistatron's grand scheme, a fake night sky hiding Earth's heist.
How can Heistatron heist us if he's not even here yet?
He's already been here.
With a series of random, seemingly nonsensical steps, Rick leads them to Heistatron's lair for the ultimate showdown. Heistatron and Rick duel with mind games and paradoxes until Heistatron self-destructs, realizing there is no perfect heist.
It appears the only perfect heist is one that was never written.
The crew escapes, and Morty, disillusioned by heist, ditches his Netflix script idea.
Man, it's as if someone stole his enthusiasm for his own idea.
Rick reveals his master plan, orchestrating the entire heist saga to keep Morty from leaving him for a Hollywood scriptwriting career.
I'll just hang out with you and go on adventures and do whatever you want to do, forever.
I mean, that's what you want.
Post credits. Professor Poopy Butthole, now jobless, questions Rick about the chaotic day. What's next for this unpredictable duo? In Battlestar Galactica, chaos unfolds when Morty defies Rick's orders and leaves their spaceship, only to be bitten by a snake astronaut.
God damn it.
This leads to an outlandish series of events involving snake civilizations and time travel. Meanwhile, Jerry, made neutrally buoyant by Rick, experiences his own mishaps, including being kicked out of a bar for floating. Morty's guilt over killing the snake astronaut drives him to replace it with a pet snake named Slippy.
Ow! Fucking monster!
Causing more chaos on the snake planet. The snakes develop time travel, leading to a battle between snake robots and snake soldiers.
A child from a distant star would save us.
Rick and Morty, dressed in snake costumes, try to fix the timeline by giving snakes the technology of time travel. Back on Earth, Jerry faces dangerous situations while floating in the air, including clinging to a jet. The family battles time-traveling snakes and snake robots that invade their home, with the chaos only ending when the time police intervene. In the end, the causality loop is resolved, but not without a punch to Morty's eye as a reminder to follow Rick's instructions.
You know what? This one counts as one of your adventures.
Hey, come on!
No freebies.
Oh, man.
The episode closes with a Christmas scene, blending sci-fi chaos with holiday cheer. Post-credits, Rick and Morty finalize their plan to prevent the snake disaster, ending with Rick punching Morty for his disobedience, tying up the time travel loop. In Never Rick and Morty, a wild ride on a space train becomes an anthology of tales about Rick Sanchez, where passengers share their unique stories. Rick and Morty, in disguise, find themselves trapped in this narrative loop, trying to stop the train.
Why can't we find the engine?
It's not a real train, it's a story device.
They battle a formidable conductor, only to realize he's part of a virtual reality game. But wait, there's more. As they navigate the train, they face various story-driven challenges and characters, including a powerful entity named Storylord.
God damn!
We already did this!
Watch this.
This foe seeks to drain Rick and Morty of their story potential, but they cleverly escape by invoking the power of Jesus Christ.
God damn!
Causing the train's control panel to lose power. The episode twists and turns through different layers of storytelling, ultimately revealing that the entire adventure occurs within a model train bought by Morty at the Citadel. When the train malfunctions, Rick's frustration highlights the futility of their journey and the complexity of their endless adventures.
I guess I'll return it.
Return? Are you insane? Did you hear nothing I said? Buy another one, Morty!
Post-credits, the broken train, a symbol of their chaotic escapades, leaves Rick angry and Morty bewildered, mirroring the unpredictable nature of their interdimensional travels. What'll they encounter next? Primordius kicks off with Rick and Morty unknowingly infested by facehuggers, waking up on a foreign planet.
How do we get out of here?
Morty, relax. They're face-hugging parasites. I don't think their society's gonna be that hard to navigate.
After freeing themselves, they discover a highly developed alien city.
Holy shit, they've got an M&M store.
With Morty's facehugger having been a revered leader,
I was just greeting you.
And Rick, a not-so-liked political vlogger. The duo's escape plan involves causing catastrophic damage to the alien society. However, during breakfast on Earth, they realize they forgot Summer on the alien planet. Oops! Returning, they find Summer revered by the aliens.
Do you know how much shit I've had to deal with?
You're in a cape, Summer. No bad story ends with a cape.
You don't know anything about my story.
She explains how she avoided infestation and transformed the alien society, steering them away from a self-destructive life cycle.
I've got a plan, okay? You just have to follow my lead.
Summer masterfully plans their escape by pretending to execute Rick and Morty. During the chaotic breakout, Morty's harmonica skills prove deadly to the aliens, facilitating their departure. Back on Earth, Summer deals with her friend Trisha's strange fascination with Jerry, adding a comical twist to the episode's conclusion. The Vat of Acid episode starts with a tricky deal gone wrong at a factory. Morty's fed up with Rick's crazy plans, especially when Rick suggests jumping into a vat of fake acid if things get dicey.
Jump into the same vat of acid I jump into.
Okay, wait, what?
And guess what? They do. When the deal sours, Rick and Morty dive into the vat, fooling the bad guys into thinking they've perished. Sneaky, right?
Guess he took his threat pretty serious. Yeah, but it just doesn't make any sense.
Back home, Morty's grumbling about Rick's shenanigans, comparing them to previous misadventures. Morty wishes for a do-over device like in video games. Rick, in a huff, makes the gadget.
Because I fucking did it!
But here's the twist. It's not really a time reset device. Morty, unaware, has a blast with the device. He pulls pranks, chats up his crush Jessica, and even starts a romance with a girl he meets. They go through thick and thin, even surviving a plane crash and a tough mountain ordeal. But just when things seem perfect, Jerry accidentally resets Morty's save point, erasing his entire relationship. Feeling down, Morty learns a hard lesson from Rick. Those weren't time resets, they were alternate realities where other Mortys suffered. Shocked and guilty, Morty faces the music. Rick merges these realities, bringing consequences to their doorstep, angry crowds, and law enforcement. To wrap it up, Rick insists Morty jump back into the vat of fake acid. As Morty hides underwater, a cop tests the vat and ends up believing he's acid-proof. Talk about a twist. In a hilarious post-credit scene, this acid-proof cop meets a grim fate on Johnny Carson's show, proving he's not so immune after all. What a crazy lesson-filled adventure for our duo. In Child Rick of Mort, Rick, Beth, and the kids head out for a family camping trip, but it's quickly interrupted when Rick's ex, Gaia, a planet, calls him about their children.
Hey, give it back, Summer!
Rick, please answer me. I'm pregnant. Oh my god.
Rick and Beth work to develop the society of Rick's planetary offspring, aiming to launch them into space.
These kids may not be mine, but you definitely are, my little steampunk overlord.
Jerry, feeling neglected, leads a group of society's rejects in a makeshift camping adventure.
This is camping. Camping? Ooh. Camping! Camping!
Meanwhile, Morty and Summer, uninterested in camping, discover a crashed spaceship. Summer gets high on its fumes, and Morty tries piloting it. A twist comes when a godlike being, Reggie, claims to be the real father of Gaia's children.
Little ones, Daddy's here!
Rick and Reggie clash, but Morty and Summer, in their drugged state, accidentally kill Reggie with a spaceship. Amidst this chaos, Beth's advanced society and Jerry's tribal group clash. Beth falls off a cliff, and Jerry heroically saves her, though his smell dampens any gratitude. Gaia's anger erupts, literally with a volcano, endangering everyone. Rick, Morty, Summer, Beth, and Jerry narrowly escape, leaving the remaining survivors in the care of Rick's children. Back in the spaceship, Jerry admits his insecurities.
But really, I just wanted to feel important. I guess sometimes teenagers do know what they're talking about.
And Beth defends him against Rick's criticism, showing a rare moment of unity. As they fly away, Rick slyly comments on Beth and Jerry's parenting skills, revealing the kids' reckless actions.
Jerry, pretty terrible parenting on your part.
Post-credits, Summer catches Rick browsing a risque website for planets, though he claims it's just for laughs. In Star-Mort Return of the Jerry, chaos reigns as Space Beth, an adventurous version of Beth.
My name is Beth Smith. Tell your top bugs that Defiance lives on.
I will. Confronts Rick about a device in her neck, hinting she might be a clone. Meanwhile, Earth Beth grapples with the same fear.
Oh god, I'm a clone.
Amidst this identity crisis, Morty and Summer feud over Rick's invisibility belt, causing a series of invisible mishaps. While Earth Beth seeks family therapy, Space Beth's battle against the Galactic Federation interrupts, pulling Rick, Beth, and Jerry into a galactic showdown. Summer and Morty, using their wits and the belt, manage to outsmart Galactic Federation agents seeking their mother.
We're just looking for your mother. You can't, stop our hearts, can you?
I can.
Okay, we surrender.
The climax escalates when Rick faces off against Phoenix Person, a transformed bird person, while the two Beths unite to discover the truth about their existence.
Step back! You're not killing him till we kick his ass, bird person.
Jerry, in a rare heroic moment, distracts Phoenix Person, allowing Space Beth to deactivate him. Back home, Rick's attempt to reveal the real Beth through a memory projection fails, leaving both Beths disgusted with him.
Holy shit, I'm a terrible father.
They reject Rick's manipulative tactics, embracing their individual strengths and independence. But wait, there's more. Post-credits, Jerry, embracing a vigilante role, commandeers an invisible garbage truck, only to abandon it at a gas station. More Dinner Rick Andre starts with Morty frantically trying to save a badly hurt Rick. With their spaceship kaput, Morty calls his crush Jessica, and surprise, she likes him back.
Yeah, sorry, I guess I just...
No, I just wish you said it sooner.
What?
This sparks Morty into hero mode. But oops, they crash into the ocean, and Rick's old enemy, Mr. Nimbus, pops up, mad about some ancient treaty stuff.
Sorry?
At home, Rick's prepping for a tense dinner with Nimbus.
Come on, Morty, you're on booze duty.
Morty, now the booze guy, dashes to a magical dimension for Nimbus's ancient wine. There, he gets tangled in a time-warped drama, accidentally causing a blood feud with a family guarding the wine. It's nuts. Morty goes from hero to villain in their eyes, leading to a full-on castle battle.
You will be the one to pass through the door. You will be the one to end our pain.
Meanwhile, Jessica is at Morty's, clueless about the chaos. Morty sneaks a wine bottle to share a romantic moment, but gets yanked away by Rick for treaty stuff. Just then, Adam, a guy powered by Morty's tech, crashes in to kill Morty. But Jessica's a badass. She uses a bottle opener to defeat him, only to get sucked into the dimension herself. Amidst all this, Rick and Nimbus are arguing, but stop to save Morty and Jessica from killer robots. Nimbus saves the day with a sea creature army, but the peace is short-lived. Summer messes it up, and Nimbus arrests Rick. In a twist, Jessica, having seen too much in the crystal, ditches Morty, now a time god.
I think we should just be friends.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
And guess what? Beth and Jerry are off to a very different kind of adventure with Nimbus. In Mortiplicity, the Smiths are chilling at home when suddenly, surprise, squid-like creatures burst in and attack. But twist, they're just decoy Smiths. The real Rick reveals he's made tons of decoy families to protect them from enemies. It's a wild decoy chase, with each family thinking they might be fake.
Oh my god, we're decoys.
Oh god, we might not be real. We might be decoys.
Things get even crazier when the Smiths start fighting each other, not knowing who's real. They even dress up as squids to trick others. Meanwhile, a super creepy decoy, who knows he's fake, tries to skin others to look real.
You're a monster.
I'm your father. At least I can look more like him once I harvest all this yummy skin. This guy's really into skin.
Yikes. In a huge twist, a glockenspiel version of the family, like their musical instruments, tries to save others. But it all ends in an epic battle royale. Only one family remains, but they're taken out by a decoy they forgot about. Mr. Always Wants to Be Hunted. Classic Rick and Morty craziness. Up in space, the supposed real Smiths are clueless about the chaos, and Glockenspiel Jerry, he has a wild journey, ending up as a saloon ornament, and then on a cross in a humanoid Roman Empire. What'll happen next in this wacky universe? In Rick Convenient Mort, while buying t-shirts, Morty meets Planetina, a Captain Planet-like superhero who's fighting against a villain causing acid rain. Morty's smitten, and they start dating, even though she's way older looking.
So are you two dating?
Oh,
Yes, we are.
Meanwhile, Rick and Summer go on a bar crawl across doomed planets, no strings attached. Things get intense when Morty saves Planetina from being sold by her controlling Tina Tears. Morty fights fiercely, showing a dark side to save his superhero girlfriend. But Planetina goes too far, hurting people to save the environment. Morty's shocked and breaks up with her even though she loves him. Back with Rick and Summer, Rick's fling with an alien ends when Summer saves a planet to prove she's right. They return home, understanding each other a bit more. In a twist, Morty's flower portrait from Planetina wilts, just like their love. And there's a quirky post-credit scene with an alien and his dad, dealing with an awkward situation after thinking the world was ending. In Rickternal Friendshine of the Spotless Mort, our genius grandpa Rick finds himself alone at home and decides it's time to save his old pal, Bird Person.
who is he?
Who's Bird Person? Oh boy, he's this cool, half-bird, half-person rebel who's been Rick's buddy through thick and thin. Things get trippy when Rick dives into Bird Person's mind to rescue him. Picture this, Rick's running around in Bird Person's memories, from epic battles to heartfelt moments, all to find his feathered friend.
Well, are you aware you're in a coma and you're gonna die if you don't come with me?
But Bird Person's not so keen on being saved, especially when his memories with Tammy, his ex, pop up. Things heat up, with fights against soldiers and even a mind-bending escape from Bird Person's collapsing mind. The twist? You won't believe this. While Rick's battling in Bird Person's brain, their real bodies are having seizures in the garage. Talk about intense. Rick's garage AI enlists the help of a neighbor to keep everything running. It's a race against time and mind games. In the midst of chaos, we learn Bird Person and Tammy have a child.
I bet she didn't even tell you about the kid.
About
I'm
the
sorry.
what?
Which becomes Bird Person's reason to keep living. Our duo's journey through memories is a roller coaster of emotions, with battles, betrayals, and even a bit of comedy from their friend Squanchy. After dodging mind attacks and facing hard truths, they barely make it out.
Holy shit, that was close. That was insane. Oh my god, that thing with the thing?
Bird Person's disappointed in Rick for hiding his child's existence, but decides to live on for his daughter. And guess what? Memory Rick sneaks into real Rick's brain, pondering his own existence. And for a wild twist, the episode ends with a glimpse of Bird Person's daughter in a tough spot in prison. What a cliffhanger. Forgetting Sarek Mortshell starts with Morty on a solo cleanup mission across dimensions. But uh-oh, he gets caught. Meanwhile, Rick's mad about the portal gun tampering and decides to replace Morty.
Good luck finding someone that can be told 80,000 times how replaceable they are.
With 2 crows? When he's captured by intelligence crow aliens.
Sorry for the tractor beaming.
They're not happy with Rick's idea of a joke. Back on Earth, Morty's facing his own drama. Things go south with Nick, revealing his dark side.
You don't get it, do you? As long as we have these portals.
Stop Nick's rampage. And here comes the heartbreaker.
No.
Rusty Crows battles weird owl creatures. But wait, Morty shows up, looking older and sadder, spinning a tale about Jerry's death and Summer's rough life, begging Rick to only to find Morty's deception. But there's no time to chill. A messed up Morty appears planned, having scanned Rick's brain for secrets.
Most of yours got scanned a long time ago.
Leads in the Citadel, a place built by Ricks for Ricks, at the cost of countless breaks through the curve, stepping into a new unknown universe. In an amusing scene following the credits, Mr. Poopy Butthole reflects on his life, hinting at his own evil transformation. Wow, Rick Mirai Jack just catapulted Rick and Morty to epic heights. Rick in full. In Solar Ricks, Season 6 starts with a bang.
Here we go!
Morty get a lift home from Space Beth, but Rick's fix for his portal gun goes wrong, sending AI of his wife.
If I could be muted, I wouldn't be too good at haunting you.
Mirai hints that evil Rick might be back in his original dimension.
If you were pulled home by whatever happened.
Dimension where the biggest change is how they pronounce Parmesan.
Parmesan. Gross.
Yeah.
I hate it.
In a shocking twist in the Cronenberg world, evil Rick meets Jerry, who tries to be a hero but gets outsmarted and killed by evil Rick. Well lit, and Rick dives in to save him. Meanwhile, Summer, channeling her interaction hero, faces off against a gang of aliens, Die Hard style.
Are you doing a dive?
Rick, as Roy, struggles to convince the Morty Control characters that they're just part of a game.
This is actual truth. I'm a scientist in real life, but this isn't real life. This is a video game.
This revelation sparks a whole new religion and even ignites wars among them. To rescue Morty, they need to rally all the Mortys to leave the game world. After many in-game years, Rick finally convinces most Mortys, except for a few holdouts led by a Morty named Marta. She challenges Rick to express love for Morty, which he awkwardly fails at.
Too late for talk, Rick.
Eventually, all but Marta agree to leave.
I'm proud of you, Morty. Please, call me Marta.
Back in reality, Rick and Morty reunite just in time to help Summer outsmart the aliens. Rick secretly keeps the game running.
Special order. Some rich douche wants his last game to keep running.
Letting Marta Morty live out her life in peace. And for a laugh, in the post-credits, the aliens trying to recreate their version of Die Hard 3. In Night Family, Beth can't sleep because of Jerry's snoring, so she tries the couch, only to find Rick crunching out abs exercises.
Hello? What is wrong with you?
Surprise! That's Night Rick, thanks to a gadget called the Somnambulator from Gooby Jube's system. It lets Rick, and soon the whole family, have night versions who do all the boring stuff while they sleep. Beth's playing trumpet, Summer's learning Spanish, Morty's getting abs with Rick.
Watch this!
And Jerry's, well, being pen pals with Night Jerry. Everything's cool until Night Summer asks the Dave family to rinse dishes.
Night Jerry said Night Summer would appreciate it if everybody could rinse off their plates after eating.
What?
Day Rick flips out, saying no way, that's Night People's job.
Request denied.
Next morning, boom, all dishes are smashed. Rick calls an alien buddy for unbreakable plates, but the Night family's not having it. They tie Rick down, forcing him to eat dirty plate leftovers, yuck, and even hide the Somnambulator. Day Rick's not giving up, he gears up Summer to find and destroy the Somnambulator, but Night Summer's one step ahead, and soon Night Rick cuts Day Rick off from all of his tech.
Yeah, no choice, Jerry. Night Summer had Night Rick take away my tech.
Now it's a full-blown war. Day family tries to escape, but whenever someone gets knocked out, their night version takes over. It's a wild car chase with lots of switching between day and night selves. Finally, Night Summer makes a deal. Freedom for rinsed dishes. Day Rick says no way, so the Night handle money stuff. So they smash the Somnambulator, freeing everyone. The Smiths wake up.
Killed the Choco Taco!
In final decimation, the Smiths are dying, understandably freaked out, begs Rick for help. But Rick's like, no way, science might end him. Morty and Summer can't resist poking fun at Jerry, even making a doll look like Jerry's mom in a really silly way. Jerry gets so scared, even starts dressing like Morty cookies to get someone to free him and the alien.
Oh, I've been trying to get people's attention.
Accidentally ending Rick's immortality from a fortune cookie.
I was immortal! I was immortal for that whole fight! All I had to do was never make a new friend!
Rick's a bit mad, but they make up. In an eye-opening twist, Morty, Summer, Beth, and Space Beth discover at the zoo's gift. In this bizarre world, they encounter Jesus. The Story Lord betrays Jesus, but then Leon traps him with the recap Venom.
Previously.
Meta nerds that found out they could be less bearable as a team.
The group includes Miss Lead, Flashback, Continuity Error, Protagonist Nick, and Mr. Twist. After a wild battle, Rick and Morty is against them, creating chaos in the meta-reality. Meanwhile, Story Lord confronts his creator at Citadel Toys LLC, upset about his character's fate.
You're Story Lord! You're great!
Rick and Morty, stuck in a void, are saved by Joseph Campbell, along with Leon, for his wife. In Analyze Piss, Rick and Morty face off against goofy 90s villains, and Morty suggests therapy for Rick. Dr. Wong advises Rick to ignore the villains.
Ignore them for a week and see what happens.
But then Pissmaster, a new villain, shows up and starts trouble with the Smiths. Jerry surprisingly fights back.
I don't even know you!
Yeah, you.
Pissmaster, becoming an instant hero.
Jezebel's offering a cash reward for evidence that you're a bad person. That is their highest honor!
Jerry joins an intergalactic council of heroes. Jealous of Jerry's fame, Rick tries to prove Dr. Wong wrong, but she points out he's actually
I'm out.
Bored, Rick sympathizes with the now ridiculed Pissmaster, but he discovers Pissmaster committed suicide because of Jerry's actions.
I'm killing myself because of Jerry Smith.
Rick, disguised as Pissmaster, learns about Pissmaster's suicide, blaming Rick and Jerry. Jerry is devastated, and Rick's plan falls apart. In Rictational Mortcoons Rick Miss Morcation, Christmas adds the saber into the Earth's core, risking the planet's destruction. Oh no! Meanwhile, a shocking revelation. The nice Rick with a family for months is actually a robot, Rickbot, built by the real Rick who's been hunting Rick Prime.
You're still hunting the guy who killed your wife?
Stop the lightsaber disaster. As Morty and the President team up, Rickbot, feeling guilty for disaster. Morty, Rickbot, and the President race to retrieve the lightsaber, but oh dear, Rickbot gets critically endangered in a final heroic act.
Yeah, don't be too touched. He's actively trying to die.
Words reveal Rick's care for his family.
Rick literally built me to make you happy, Morty. Anything I do is technically something Rick did.
In the post-credits, a buff Mr. Poop and the Jarek trap, Jerry's annoyed because their neighbor Gene hasn't returned his rake. He goes to Rick for help, and oh boy, does it escalate. Rick feeling insulted.
Definition of waste, Jerry.
But things go haywire. Rick in Jerry's body freaks out and tries to end it. Jerry, unable to handle Rick's body, accidentally sets off a jet. Talk about a wacky science experiment. Meanwhile, Morty gets nabbed by some goons working for a mobster named Chuxley. But wait, Chuxley realizes his mistake and tries to give Morty back.
Hey pal, you good? You whole?
You guys have milkshakes?
But Rick and Jerry, now a mixed-up duo, come to the rescue. They get into a crazy fight with the gangsters and manage to shoot Chuxley. Feeling different and happier, Rick and Jerry, now calling themselves Burger and Fries, decide to leave Earth for wild criminal adventures.
Burger and Fries, who the hell is this?
But hold on, when Morty, Beth, and Summer get kidnapped by Chuxley's men, yup, he's still alive, Burger and Fries know they have to help. They turn into a super entity called Jericky.
I am Jericky. Whatcha?
And defeat Chuxley in a wild showdown. After saving the family, they split back into Rick and Jerry, still bickering like always. The Smith family is just glad to have them back, even if they haven't learned much from their crazy experience. And in a comedic twist, inside Jerry's mind, we see Memory Rick trying to escape, but he's stuck making lawn ornaments because Jerry thinks all machines are just gears and springs. That's Amort is all about spaghetti.
Who's ready for Rick's famous spaghetti?
Every Thursday, the Smith family enjoys delicious spaghetti bolognese made by Rick. But oh boy, Morty discovers a shocking secret. The spaghetti comes from a planet where people turn into spaghetti when they die.
Oh, don't do that!
You've been doing it for weeks, every spaghetti night. Come on, Morty. Choo-choo plane.
Gross.
Come on.
Morty, feeling super weird about this, spills the beans at a funeral and to his family. They're more bummed about losing spaghetti night than the fact that they were eating people.
Dad!
They were delicious!
So keep eating them!
We can't now!
Because of you!
And the president of Spaghetti Planet offers Morty ethically sourced spaghetti from someone who chose to become food.
They did consent to be eaten.
Okay.
Morty finds this a bit better, and spaghetti nights are back on.
Oh, yeah.
But wait, there's more. Rick reveals that Spaghetti Planet has turned this into a huge business, selling cans of Mortio's Suicide Spaghetti galaxy-wide.
But we can fix it, right, Rick?
You mean me. You want me to fix it.
Morty and Rick try to fix this by making less sentient beings for spaghetti, but it's a total mess. arguments break out, and the planet descends into chaos. Rick's final solution? Clone the spaghetti from the last willing person on the planet, a man named Fred Bunks. Before Fred's assisted suicide, everyone watches his entire life. Seeing Fred's life in all its complexity makes everyone lose their appetite for spaghetti. The Smiths switch to Salisbury steak, which Rick says comes from another questionable source.
Do you want to know or not?
No thanks!
But the family chooses not to ask too many questions because it tastes so good. In the post-credits scene, a planet of sentient vacuum cleaners finds out their vacuum bags come from sentient beings who committed suicide. Talk about a shocking reveal. And on Mortrican, we dive deep into Evil Morty's past. We see his journey from betraying his Rick, taking over the Citadel, to escaping other dimensions for his space mansion. But then, his peace is ruined when Rick C-137 and Morty Prime's search for Rick Prime messes with his dimension. Rick and Morty are busy tracking down Rick Prime. They keep teleporting Rick decoys, trying to find the real one. And guess what happens next? Evil Morty crashes the party, annoyed by their dimension hopping.
I don't live here, which is why it's insane that you're still bugging me.
He helps them tweak their scanner, but they still end up in a trap set by Rick Prime. Rick Prime has a wicked plan. He wants the Ricks to fight each other for a chance to get their Diane back.
All you have to do is be the last Rick left.
But it's a trick. Rick and Evil Morty team up to escape the trap.
Looks like we survived the box.
And just when you think it's over, they find out where Rick Prime really is. And Evil Morty decides to stick around, seeing the threat that Rick Prime poses. The showdown at Rick Prime's lair is intense. Rick Prime mocks Rick, revealing he killed all versions of Diane across universes. They battle fiercely, and Evil Morty tricks Rick Prime, capturing him. He wipes out Rick Prime's clones and steals the Omega device schematics. Rick finally gets his revenge on Rick Prime, but at what cost? He's left feeling empty. Evil Morty, now with the Omega device plans, leaves, hinting that he might need Rick's help someday. Back home, Morty celebrates, but Rick is lost, questioning his purpose after fulfilling his revenge. The Smith family moves on, but only Rick is stuck in a daze, haunted by his actions. In a surprising turn of events, Slow Mobius's widow seeks revenge, but finds love instead, moving on with her life in a way that Rick never could. In Rick Fending Your Mort, things get wacky when Morty tries cheering up a gloomy Rick with his adventure cards. Oops, Rick suspects fake stamps.
This stinks to high heaven, Morty. I'm not accepting these.
I knew you were gonna do this.
Calling a cosmic audit. Enter the Observer, a rock-like dude who starts showing off their wild and not so wild adventures. But hey, this Observer loves drama, showing them being rude to each other. Rick and Morty, not fans of the drama, plan to ditch some cards. Bad move? The Observer gets mad and airs their embarrassing moments to everyone, including Summer, Beth, and Space Beth. Jerry's cool though.
Whatever, everyone knows I'm embarrassing. I'm bulletproof.
The drama escalates when Morty, totally fed up, confronts the Observer, leading to its accidental demise under a truck. Uh-oh, trial time with the Observers. They're in deep trouble, showcasing all their mischiefs, like Rick's weird guns, a creepy churro creature named Churi, and even a Space Jam mess-up. But Rick's got a trick up his sleeve. He hijacks the Observer's tech, turning the tables by revealing their naughty secrets.
I'll give you guys $20 to fight each other. Money, money.
Chaos erupts, and our duo escapes. Back home, Rick admits he's touched by Morty's effort. They decide to forget this mess.
How about we just ignore this one?
Yeah, good call.
And dive into new adventures. And in a spooky twist, Morty finds a churro in his locker, fearing it's Churi. False alarm, but a message from Churi promises revenge. Dun dun dun. In Mort Ragnarok, Jerry's surprised to be at Heaven's Gates. But whoops, it's Rick's prank. He's been killing Jerry to prove heaven exists. Next stop, Norway.
Morty, pack your parka. We're going to Norway.
For Rick's wild plan to tap into afterlife energy, Rick gets trounced by Bigfoot, and then bam! He's in Valhalla, the Viking afterlife where endless battles await.
Welcome to Valhalla, brother. We thought all Vikings had perished.
Back on Earth, Morty comforts a seemingly sad Bigfoot. Plot twist, it's a trap, and Morty ends up in Valhalla too. Meanwhile, Bigfoot's causing chaos in Norway, and the Pope wants him as a monster hitman.
How many people have you killed for the Pope? Help me stop him and I'll make it right.
Rick and Morty team up with Bigfoot, battling the Pope and his schemes. The Big Finish, a monster mashup with Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and others, all ended up in Valhalla. Rick captures the Pope in a Pope ball, out punning everyone.
Popey ball. There.
Okay.
In the end, Rick and Morty sadly send a now-talking Bigfoot back to the woods. Poor Bigfoot just wanted a job, but off he goes as this wacky adventure wraps up. What's next? In Fear No More, Rick and Morty stumble upon a spine-tingling carnival of horrors. But guess what? They're too brave for that stuff. Along comes a snazzy suit-wearing guy, a self-proclaimed expert in fear. He dares them to visit the galaxy's scariest spot, which turns out to be a Denny's?
Okay, what the hell? Yeah, this is punching down.
And in the men's room, there is this eerie fear hole. Morty, ever the brave one, dives into the fear hole. It's like a horror movie in there, with monsters and maggots. Yikes! Rick, being the cool grandpa he is, jumps in to save Morty. They battle the creepy crawlies and make it out. Phew!
Yeah, on the wall, motherfuckers! It's not worth it! Not worth it!
But wait, there's more. Diane, Rick's lost love, pops out of a portal. The family's all confused, and Rick and Morty think they're still in the fear hole. Rick's theory, Morty's scared of Rick being happy without him.
I think I figured it out, Morty. Your greatest fear is me getting Diane back and being happy again.
Then comes a twist. Rick tries to woo Diane back. He builds a singing robot, which kind of fails, and takes her to the zoo. They even share a rainy kiss. As they grow closer, Morty worries about Rick's health. Concerned, Morty thinks the fear hole is making Rick sick.
You look sick! The hole is feeding on you!
But Rick brushes it off. Morty, tired of the whole mess, goes back to the suit guy at Denny's. The man talks about happiness being a trap.
The smarter you are, the more you know. Happiness is a trap.
Deep, huh? Morty learns he's stuck in the fear hole because of his fear of not being accepted.
My greatest fear is not being accepted.
So what does he do? He and Rick try to face their fears together, but they can't seem to escape. The big realization, Morty understands his biggest fear is Rick leaving him.
It has been about me! You're not even in the hole, are you?
Acknowledging this, he finally escapes the fear hole. Rick gets tempted to enter and see Diane again, but decides against it. Instead, he leaves a photo of Morty on the restroom bulletin board. What a grandpa gesture. In a funny post-credit scene, Mr. Poopy Butthole steals Rick's portal gun. He zips off to a world where he's married, replacing his other self. He hints at more wild adventures in Season 8. Can't wait! So stay tuned and check back on our channel for the next season's coverage. In Rick and Morty, we've seen the limitless possibilities of science fiction. What if I told you there's a show that combines sci-fi with sharp wit in a totally different way?
You what?
Up next, The Venture Bros, a series rich in parody and adventure. Discover the story of a dysfunctional family entangled in the world of super science. It's a wild ride with humor as twisted as it is smart. Don't miss out!